Hi everybody, it's Janice from the Indianola Public Library. We're going to do another craft today. This one's a little bit more involved than some of the ones that we've had. You're definitely going to want a grown-up's help on this because we're going to be using an oven or a toaster oven. Not a toaster because that won't work at all, but a toaster oven or a regular oven. And we're going to be making these little plastic sun catchers, and we've got a couple of different ways to do it, but basically you're just going to use a plastic cup and then color the cup and then melt it in your oven or your toaster oven. I've got a toaster oven and we'll see that in a little bit because I don't have an oven here. So you're just going to color them. You can use either regular markers, the washable kind of markers, or Sharpies. The washable kind don't stay as well. I'll show you these. This one I did with Sharpies, so you can see that it's a lot brighter colors. This one I did with the washable markers, and it's still really pretty, but it's not nearly as bright as this. So you can see the difference there. And there's also another difference. This one is this kind of almost clear cup, and this one is this kind of white cup. So you can't see through the white cup as well, but it still makes it awfully pretty. So you need to make sure that it's the right kind of plastic. I made this mistake and ended up with this ugly mess. That was terrible. So what you need to do is look at the bottom of your plastic, and it has a little triangle with like arrows in it, and there's a number inside that. That number needs to be 6. Do not use any other kind of plastic because it smokes and it makes a big mess. Don't do it. These are the right kind of plastic, number 6 plastic. So basically, I'm going to use the Sharpies because I like the way they look, but you can use the other kind too. And we're just going to, I'm going to do the clear one. You just color it however you want. You can do patterns. You can, if you can draw on there, like draw something like a flower or an animal or whatever, and that will melt. They're kind of like I said, they're a little bit like Shrinky Dinks, except that they stay round and you can poke a hole in them. So I'm going to just quick color this, and then we'll show you what it looks like as it's melting, which is pretty cool. While you're coloring these, you do need to be careful because you will get the crayon or the marker all over your fingers, but that's okay, it'll wear off. And I'm not being terribly precise with my coloring here. You can spend a lot more time. I just want to get it done so I can show you what it looks like when we melt it. Okay, so that is good enough, and now I'm going to go over to my toaster oven, so give me just a second. So I preheated my toaster oven to 350 degrees, and I covered my baking sheet with some aluminum foil because you don't want it to risk it sticking to your good baking pans. I haven't had any problems with it sticking, but just in case, put some aluminum foil on there. Just put that in, and this is where you're going to want a grown-up to help. So you're going to stick it in that hot oven. It's at 350 degrees, and it happens really fast. So we'll get to watch it just melt here. It takes about, just maybe 2-3 minutes. Not very long at all. Especially if you have your oven preheated to the right temperature, which apparently I didn't quite have, but that's okay.
There it goes.
There, yay! that looks pretty well done. I don't think that was even 2 minutes. So just kind of watch it, and once it's all the way flat, then you can have your grown-up take that out and let it cool. It won't take very long to cool. The aluminum foil is going to be hotter than the plastic, but so you don't want to touch it. And then we'll let it cool a little bit, and then you can pull it off, and you can poke a hole in it, like I said, so you can make little sun catchers out of it. I did experiment with cutting them to see if I could make flowers. That didn't work great, but if you cut maybe, instead of just slits, if you cut a triangle out, that would probably work. But you can bend them a little bit still when they're warm but not hot, so you can make some shapes out of them too. That would be kind of cool. Also, if you have like takeout containers, if you get to-go food and it comes in a number 6 plastic container, you can use that too. You can cut that up and you can make squares and stuff and then draw on it, and you can make your own shrinky dinks with it. So those are pretty cool. I'm going to see if this is still hot. Oh, it's not too bad. Still warm, but not too bad. And that is what you look like, what it looks like. And like I said, you just can punch a hole in it, and you could string a whole bunch of them together. It would make a really pretty window hanging too. So that is our craft for today. I hope that you make some of those and have fun doing it. Get your hands all markery, but that's okay, because you know what? It wears off. I would suggest putting some paper down when you're coloring with them so you don't get it all over the table. And then, so craft, do that, and then Thursday we have story time at 10:30, so join us then. Bye!